Hey guys, it's Nicole Knight. Welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. I'm just gonna jump right in to continue with the next episode here. We basically were able to meet up with an officer, asking us questions about, oh hey, what could have potentially happened with everything you did last night? And turns out, our friend Tomitake was murdered. More like killed by suicide, but we're not entirely sure what happened. He's dead. He's very dead. DD dead. Anywho, we're just gonna go right back into this whole plot scenario thing. Our friends have been pointing out as potential interests of the situation, and we just can't fucking believe it. Anyway, onward. Sleepy. Get this going. There we go. Well, that's a really big yawn, Cage-kun. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but it doesn't look like I can do it today. I was watching TV till late last night, so I'm tired right now. Was one of those raunchy TV shows you loved so much on last night? How extremely vile. Don't jump to conclusions. It's perfectly normal for boys. Nothing to be ashamed about. Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse. Would you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously. My. You think I would just sit here and allow that? I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. Oh. This was just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slapped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear. Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Keiji-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face, so cute. You can take him a moment later. Let him be for now. Let's move over there. It'd be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now. Rika-chan really is a good girl. Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes. I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Uishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Uishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have just listened in the first place. It ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would have, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Uishi-san for this. Huh? When was that? I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he had vanished the night of Watanagashi. Mion whispered to keep the others from listening, but I could hear clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell that she was quite upset. Could it be that they're talking about Tomitake-san? Take? Not sure. That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie and enjoy the conversation, it was much easier to sit here and pretend I was asleep than to listen on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend I was asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. So, and me, there are others, right? 2. But they don't know if it's from the curse or if this was an onekakushi. Onekakushi? Onekakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good. Yeah. Well, there was another, right? Right? If it's Oyashiro-sama's... Yeah. But... This year at all? Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing commotion. Then, without us knowing it, someone had hit them. You mean Abi. Next could me, I wonder. Don't worry. You got home safely. But is not allowed, right? That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term onikakushi. To be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I guess it's similar to being spirited away. I suspected that it meant I can't talk today. I suspected that it was meant because Tomitake-san and that woman, it really bugged me that I didn't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that struck out to me is when Rena said, "There's another one, right?" Mion said, "If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah, responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant?" Come to think of it, I do remember Mion saying at the beginning that they don't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of an onikakushi. It seemed that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and that they were phenomena that were paired together. I recall Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end could be best described as cursed. Then the woman with him, it means she vanished away because she was demoned away? What I do know is, there's a normally an even number of victims of curse proper. And the last point even bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recalled correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Himinazawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend citizens that drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday, Uishi-san said that the original targets were enemies of the village, but recently there are no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I think I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I would infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Uishi-san. Informing the police of what I heard, eavesdropping for my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more, it felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. And then... happy music, like nothing terrible just went happening. Ugh. The teacher approaches. "Keiji-san, you must awaken!" In the distance I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of afternoon classes. Yeah, I couldn't sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment— oh Jesus! When I leaned against the back of my seat. Ow! There was a thumbtack stuck to the back of my chair with tape. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously jumped from my seat, and I tripped as my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Satoko. While sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence and able to pull off this fine piece of work. I was gonna say, while you were... eavesdropping, you didn't notice? A little surprised at you, dude. But I get it. I get it. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Oh ho ho! Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived? Keiji-san, take your seat. Clomp clomp, wish, wish. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Oh no. Wah! Keiji-san is being mean! Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Maiba-kun. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me, that little brat. You're such a little shit. come on, Maraba-kun. Yeah, I'll apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologized, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. Kei-chan, get your events at the club meeting. Take your seat. I sat down after Mion told me to. She'd switched to class representative mode. Now we're outside. Oh, never mind. With the boring classes finished, school was finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I'd like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Uishi-san. Rena and I were even able to test our strategy. That's right, today Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. What should we do? We never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not try asking me? Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm and her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Oops! I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes? Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well, sorry you guys. This old man is heading back home now. Mion left us with that and rushed off to exit after snatching up her bag. You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help at her uncle's shop in town. Ah, I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such a bothersome stuff. She said that she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear. I see. She was able to pay for the mountain of games with what she saved from up there. From their little... That, wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Is that against school policy? There's a clause that states family businesses are excluded. Ah, is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today? So, we're done today, I guess. Wanna be fine even if without the club president? Let's do this! I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Ah, here it is. The deduction game from yesterday. Man, I just had to stop. I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break. I do not mind. But is that fine for Rena-san and Rika? If Keiichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together. When she says it like that, I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. I want to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting. What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. I kept on pushing the matter. It may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Oh well, I'll give up this time. And I was really looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I still caught up on it. At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing. Oh ho ho. The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is a pistol. It was you after all. What did you say? Then I'll just... Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me. The murderer is Keiichi, in the lounge, with a rope. I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this. Oh, Jesus. No! Keiichi-san's such a beast! Whew. Well, I guess that's good that I got out of my system. I'll remember this Keiichi-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. How unfortunate. Haha, cute. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion, Satoshi. We're about to mention somebody. I know who he is. Do you know who he is? No, I'm joking. We're gonna move on. Satoshi. Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least, every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up. Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily out of their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rena? There must be quite a few people who transferred from the school, right? I tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face, then answered. Yeah, Minazawa's a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then. Then this Satoshi's another one of those transferees? Sorry, I don't really know. There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate. I'm not saying it to be mean. Just last year, I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. So I didn't hear much about him. Sorry. I was trying to think if she's lying on that. July? Anyway. I'm not sure. Sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me, but if everyone's worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Keiichi-kun, you're making a scary face. What is it? Why? It was probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared that my grim expression had frightened her. Sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I guess I'm just feeling down about it. I wrestled Rena's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. I wonder why. Why have I been getting all this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything, I had nothing to worry about, I was just enjoying my everyday life. And then, pile of life happens. My long, outstretched shadow gave me no answer to my naive inquiry. Keiichi-kun, are you tired, maybe? Maybe? Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling. You think so? Yeah. You seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold? Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. I may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer. It could be that fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course, you've gotten tired, since there's so much you need to get used to and remember. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it has to be. Rena was also like that at first, too. I could tell, You know? I wonder if Rena's also experienced the slightest bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only person that could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Minazawa. How was it? Because as far as we know, she came last year. Feeling I had been drawn into a conversation, her face suddenly brightened. Ahahaha! It was the same year as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know villagers' names at all. Mi-chan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of place. Rena told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoko got you too? Yeah. It was a thumbtack put on my chair. Oak. Then with that, yeah, that really takes me back. When were you invited to the club? The first day? Nah, there wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day she said we should just stay after and hold a big game tournament. Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it. This is a secret, but Mi-chan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win. Huh? Mion? Really? I can't even imagine that. She had to do with most of the penalties that she came up with. I guess you improved by experience, right? Haha, seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. so she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty. I began making more friends besides Mi-chan after that, but yeah, it might have been only since you moved here that I finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. I guess Rena had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder when I'd finally be considered one of them. Huh? Did you say something? No, sorry. Just talking to myself. Cage-kun, you're silly. Rena was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey, Rena. Is there something that everybody is keeping from me? Huh? No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense. What do you mean by that, H-kun? Her tone was still the same cheery, light-hearted one as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me. After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Oh. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back to me in a way I didn't expect. There it is! Ah! Oh my god! Well then, Cage-kun. Aren't you keeping something from us? Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. But now her gaze pierced through me. I couldn't believe this was the same Rena. Aren't you? Lies or secrets? Aren't you? You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitaka-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things that I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone what had happened with Tomitaka-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. But then, aren't we even? That doesn't mean shit in this club, bro. No, I'm not. No lies, nor secrets. Her answer was instant, and it shook me. Rena stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying? Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during club meeting, Cage-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room. I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened. The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But she didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of the car near the school gate. With some man we don't know. Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Uishi-san, and that I heard about the incident with Tomitaka-san as well. Did she know all of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did someone you don't know have business with you? I want to know that myself. Then what did you talk about? It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. Lies! Rena's scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here, I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't RENA-YOU. Then who was it standing here before me now? Who had assumed RENA-YOU's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating. Right? Then she made a facial expression that Rena would normally have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was, with Rena's face, was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was about to see right through me. We also have secrets, just like how Cage-kun has secrets. It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's, bringing her face so close to mine enough it almost bump into my nose. She kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person was standing in front of me. This person who looked like Rena frightened me to my core. I was terrified, knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. Yeah, with that cute, sweet, adorable face, because... yeah. After what felt like an eternity, after a long, empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped into the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and asked myself once again, who was that person who looked like RENA-YOU? Another one of those intense moments. It's like, okay, I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then who could have it been? It was a dreadful feeling. Knowing that someone else, not Rena, so tomorrow I shouldn't have had a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head, though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses and heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Hey, Chi. It's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Wushi, from Okinomiya's bookshop. Shut up. Wushi-san. Oh, it's Wushi-san. Sorry. Since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off if they say I'm a police officer. Wushi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me, so I dashed back to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Yeah. Okay. He gave me the number of his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So how's it been, Maribaro-san? Did anything strange happen recently? Oh god, a lot. I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Uishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know. Uishi-san, do you know what this onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes away because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me feel happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Minazawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, Maribaro-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not gonna tell you anything. Ah, no. That's not what I meant. It just may make you feel bad. You see, not long ago, Minazawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. Interesting change of music, okay. They'd go down to the villagers, snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Demons snatching up people, is this what onikakushi really means? They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? I already knew the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know that there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happened together? First time I heard of that. Is that how it is, Mayabara-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking. They said if it was really Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Orisara began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind? Mayabara-san, do you know about the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah, one of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically. What if he isn't in the run, but was demoned away? Huh? It was outrageous hypothesis from Uishi-san. The incident from 4 years ago was particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they had posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be, unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then what about the incident next year? And the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident. Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in the accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, the river below the cliff being muddy rapids. The police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from being demoned away? We cannot say someone is dead without their body. What are the rules of dead people, guys? If you cannot find the body, they are not confirmed dead. They are just missing until further notice. Like, KG, you're dumb. Whatever, it's fine. Until a certain number of years pass, a law is treated as still alive. She's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least, that part was a reality. How about the 3rd year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide. Arabawa-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. His wife has supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep into the forest around Himinizawa, meaning it was all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believe that she had faked her death and is still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we can call these cases as being demoned away. It's just as if she said, every year, one person does go missing. The incident this year, a woman with Tomitaki-san has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It's considered to be a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his cell. Okay. He swallowed a pork and choked to death. That's a sucky way to die. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide, meaning for the last 5 years there's always one person who dies and one person who goes missing. That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized that they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something that they had in common. Could it be that those deemed away have something in common? Uishi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the dam employee. Second year was a wife of a dam project supporter. Third year was the wife of a Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family child, and the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there was a lot. And that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if they were all married couples, except it was not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake's-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. I'm trying to remember stuff now. A child that went missing in the 4th year. Who were they? Apparently he was quite mature. 1 year older than you. His name was Satoshi Hoju-san. I knew they were gonna bring him up. Huh? Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat? I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on the end. The sting of mysterious deaths, no. Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation. It was a feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Would Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was really beginning to believe it. And I was scared. That's why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by a man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I'd reach the point where I'd learned something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution would only be delayed for 1 more year. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said that she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean RENA-YOU-san? She transferred in last year and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents might really be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced, almost as if, you could say, she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor, as someone who looked like Rena but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things I have felt from Rena today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigation on this end. Please continue your observations, Rigu-san. Marabella-san. Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I mean. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock knock. A sudden knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Keiichi, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. We'll then have a pleasant evening. Keiichi, hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. What is Dad doing? I'd stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened up the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side, everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come on now, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was high spirits and had a smirk on his face, but for my entire life I had never seen him act this hospitable. And I'd gotten into him. So, what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father, but how could I explain to him that I was talking to a detective, I'm assuming it was, about this late at night? Nothing much, just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Rena-chan. I'm sorry, what? What? She wasn't here. Come on now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but it looks like I just missed her. What the fuck? I had no idea what Dad was talking about. but a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long were we talking? When I went upstairs for about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess? You saw her come up to the second floor. Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs. Rena came up to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door, called out to me on the second floor. I probably didn't hear because I was so focused on my conversation with Uishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was inside my room, so she had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the second floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad as she was just bringing up the tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed. What? And past my dad and returned home. Okay, I think there was recapping it a bit again. Then, after she came upstairs and until she left, where was Rena? There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rena had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door that whole time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the ominous things and nonsense I spoke to Oishi-san about began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out with the room with eyes and looked down the the floor around the doorway to see where Rena might have stood that time. Just now I was talking to Oishi-san. With my back turned, was Rena standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. What the fuck? All that time, in this dimly lit doorway. What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the stream of 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, an aroma of black tea filled my room.
Oh, hell no!
Ooh, that's intense. Notice from police chief. Oh, nice achievement. Lies! Alright. Alright, notice from police chief. July 1st, 1982. The departments 1 through 12. Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General blank. To the Chief, Constable, and all faculty managers, or facility managers, regarding cases noted in Himizawa Village, notice. As cases in Shishibon City, Himizawa Village has been reported by certain sections of mass media, it has drawn to global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for local residents. This has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. 1. Designate the following criminal investigation as classified. Okinomiya Station, 1982, case number X. Himizawa Village housewife murder, dated June. Okinomiya Station, 1982, case number. Village student disappearance. 2. Non-disclosure of information. Okinomiya Station, 1979, case number blank. Himizawa Village site, form, and murder. Shira Station, 1980, case number blank. Shira Natural Park falling accident. Okinomiya Station, 1981, case number. Himizawa Village scene 2 priest's wife's disappearance. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached materials 1, 2, and 3. Management, Prefecture, Police Headquarters. Internal line, Police Affairs Department. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so from what I gathered there was they're intentionally making sure all this goes under wraps, right? So that way, if people were to be investigating this, they would have to look really hard and really deep in order to find out, like, oh, this is a murder or death versus this is a missing person. So we come to learn more about that. It's not just people dying, but it's people going missing within these last, few years of deaths. And it's come to fruition. And Rena had become one of the more disturbing looking motherfuckers I've ever seen in a while. But anyway, enough of that. I'm just going to hold it off for here for right now, and thank you guys so much for watching the video, and if you want to just keep up with this, I will continue on with the series in the next one. You have a great one. Bye-bye.